Right, so Romania apparently is finding out that a lot of feminist policies were a grift. And the reasoning that this is happening is because finally the government has decided to implement some austerity measures. Kind of funny, like the same parties that got the country into the economic shithole are now the solution to the problem. So they decided to increase the VAT tax, they decided to tax companies more. And as this is happening, people are livid. Finally, people are asking certain questions like, why is this happening? How did we get to this point? And why are you taking money from me? Like, why aren't you taking money from richer companies? The answer is that increasing the VAT tax is very simple, right? It's an easy solution. They don't have to worry about the headache. And as I heard at the radio, it's like, look how much money the government is having now. And I was like, wow. It's so simple for the government to be rich, right? Like they just write a piece of paper and then look, the money is pouring in. But as I mentioned before, right, like people are upset. It's like, let's see how much the government is paid then. Like, let's see what they're actually doing with our taxpayer money. And this is something that most politicians pray that the public never asks. Because then you get Dodge, then you get a Millet, which even if they don't really manage to accomplish what they want, they're still rocking the boat. They're still destabilizing a lot of the grifts. And so you will have like the government, throw a couple of scapegoats. It's like, look, get angry at this. Get angry like this. Like they're doing anger management with the public. And in the recent case of anger management, we're being shown that an energy company that operates under the government had its management get 10% more bonus because they hired a woman. And the public is like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean? And it's like, yeah, didn't you guys want feminist policies, right? Like, didn't you want to interfere with the free market because you know better? Didn't you want morality? Well, it turns out that this is not how the world works, right? Like, what you want is not what you get when it comes to the law. When it comes to the law, you're getting to set a couple of rules. And the for-profit companies, they don't care about your morality. They don't care about why you made those rules. Every single company is going to look at the rules and it's like, how can we make money off of this? And so if you, for instance, have a culture that values companies that hire women in positions of leadership, well, companies can just create key performance indexes. And if they hire women, they get more bonuses. And so what the managers do, it's like, okay, well, look, we hired a woman. Now we get the bonus. We fulfilled the key performance index. Why are people upset about this? It's working as intended. Like, this is the type of rules and society you wanted to create. You never convinced people, right? Like, you never went at the ground root level and convinced people why there needs to be more women in leadership. No, what you did is you imposed your thought on others. And so you created a system that you thought it's good if companies reward people that hire women. But you never for once tried to understand companies. You never for once tried to have a dialogue. You never tried to see what happens at the grassroots. Because if you did, you'd understand, okay, well, companies, they take a lot of risk in setting business up, and then they are worried that their employees may end up out of a job, or that they're not going to be able to expand and open a new business somewhere. And so when you pass a piece of legislation, they don't give a shit why you passed it. They don't give a fuck about your morality. They're with economics, right? They're with Milton Friedman. They're not with Jesus. And so, like, if you try to set something that's moral or sounds good or whatever, they're going to look at it like, okay, what is the actual text? Like, what did you actually write down? And how can they use that to maximize their profits? And once you understand how companies think, then you realize, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't write down so much. We shouldn't fuck with the economic system so much because we are rarely getting what we're wanting. We can end up tinkering with the system and create this horror show where our taxpayer money is being paid to people that just game the system. And it's not like they're bad people, because the reality is, let's be honest, you would probably do it as well. If you had your own company and you were told, oh, you need to change the management team and have more women, you're not going to be like, oh, well, if this is imposed to be, like, I better make sure that I do exactly what they say. No, you're going to be like, wait, so I can just hire one woman and I get, like, 10% extra paycheck? Well, fuck it, let's just hire a woman then. Right? If the law doesn't mention like how many women you need to hire, you can just create a key performance index that requires only one woman. You can literally say, as long as our company is in the top 70% of companies that have women in management roles, we get the bonus. And when you do the market analysis, it turns out that other companies don't have a single woman. You can just have one. Like, you don't need to have 2 or 3 or 4. You're not setting an example. You're not the church. You're not trying to create morality in society. You're simply trying to get more money. And so you end up hiring people not based on competence. You're hiring them based on identity. Identity-based nepotism. Any woman would do, right? I mean, if you have a board of managers that are like 10, does it really matter who's that woman? Like, it can be literally anyone. Your mom could fit the job. As long as, the identity is correct. I was actually fascinated that people don't do this in Germany, for instance. Like, in Germany, they wanted to pass a law. Maybe they didn't pass it, and that's why they didn't do it. The Greens did. The Greens wanted to pass a piece of legislation that allowed anyone to identify as trans. And the government would actually recognize this, right? So, like, if you're a man, you go to the city hall and you just say, I identify as a woman. And they don't require any sort of objective proof. They don't require, to show that you're living like a woman, or to show that a doctor said, yeah, like, this person definitely has gender dysphoria. None of that. It was like a picky promise. The same country that freaks out about age verification online, and they say that simply clicking I am over 18 is not enough, is the same country that says, well, actually, when it comes to government paperwork, simply saying I am a woman, that's enough. Interesting, right? So, like, they did that. And then they're coming up with this program to give rainbow families, to give LGBT families a little help, right? Like government help. Basically, what do you call it? I don't know the word for it in Germany, but kind of like, you have a married couple and they get a little bit extra finances so they can get a first home or something like that. They had something similar for the LGBT community. And then I'm thinking like, well, hold on a little bit. What's to stop people from just identifying as trans and taking that grant? Nothing. What's to stop people at the company for having the management identify as women so that they can get more money? Nothing. And this is like what I don't understand. It's like, why is that happening over there? Because if you try to put this shit in Eastern Europe, you get exactly this. And when you get this, that's when people wake up. That's when people say, like, hold on a little bit. What the fuck is going on? Why are we doing this? Like, we're actually in a austerity measure, right? We're in an economic crisis because our money was mismanaged. And where did our money go? Like, who are these people that advocated for this? Who are these activists, right? All of a sudden, people are asking questions. Who are the politicians that played along? And this is how you fix the problems. A lot of people don't understand, like, why wokeness isn't as predominant in Eastern Europe as it is in other places. Well, because people are grifting off of the wokeness. And when you grift off of the wokeness, you cause economic imbalance. When the economic imbalance happens, people ask questions. And when people ask questions, the wokeness gets swept away for more pragmatic and cynical measures. And that's how you fight against wokeness. See, corruption isn't always that bad. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you on my live stream. There is a link to it into the pinned comment. Take care.